Yo, when you click like, it helps me help my daughter.
All right, we got Silverfish with 25. My dad had a dope Geo Metro when I was a kid. Thinking about buying a Mitsubishi Mirage 2018 manual with like 5K miles from Carvana. 3-cylinder crap box that I'd like to drive into the ground over 10 years. Thoughts? Bad idea?
Bad idea. Don't buy cars on Carvana. No one here allowed to buy a car on Carvana. Carvana is going out of business. I said this 4 or 5 years ago. Guys, buying the car business is not easy. My entire life, I've watched private money try to come into the car business from all sorts and try to modernize it. It just doesn't work. Rich guys, I've watched like groups of rich investors try to buy like dealership groups and fail. Get carried out of the offices in front of me in handcuffs because they can't get it. They don't make, it's such a hard thing. Cars are so complex. Carvana is going to go out of business. Like, investors aren't going to give them money when they look at the balance sheet. They're not making money. They're buying cars that are wrecked. There's all kinds of secrets going on there. They're buying like all the really dirty dealers. Like at the auctions, there are guys who buy wrecked cars and scrub the VIN numbers, do some shady shit, and then put them back in the market. There's all kinds of that shit. Carvana is getting railed with these cars right now. You're selling a wet behind the ears college kid a car. They're buying them like good. Like the wild Persian guys from New York City doing this shit. They don't give up. The guys that work at Newburgh Auction. Come on, the Israeli dudes. They're good at it. The Russians. That's a real thing. They're in the car business, like exporters and shit. They are jamming Carvana with cars right now.
Russians?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. Here's a funny story. This guy I know, he's back when I started in the car business in like 99, 2000. I've been in it my whole life. My dad owned a car dealership, a small little buy here, pay here car dealership. My dad was in a Chevy dealership owner, so I'm talking little 8 cars at a time. That's what. So back in the day, when the X5 came out, that was like a very shipped normal. Obviously, all the Ferraris and stuff would get shipped over, but everybody wanted the 6-cylinder X5 BMWs. If they were black, they would go to Russia. If they were white, they would go to China. You couldn't, you know what I'm saying? But they wanted the inline 6 3-liter X5s.
Yeah.
Range Rovers, certain cars that are only for this. You know what I mean? Because you can't go to like downtown, Slavyev and pick up an X5 at a normal price because they don't have a big market there. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was back in the day. This is going back 20 years ago. And there were dudes who'd come around. I particularly remember one kid. He was probably about 29 years old. I was like 18. And he was a younger guy, but he had an infinite checkbook. And he would buy V6 Jeep Grand Cherokees. That was one. Range Rovers, X5s, big body 7 Series. All like the exotics shit. But the kind of like the wannabe exotic shit. And they would ship them over to Russia. One of my dad's friends got really smart and started to basically buy the cars and acquired like 50 cars on that list, put them in a shipping container, and ship them over to Russia. He was like, fuck it, because they were buying them basically here for like 15, 20 grand, getting them over there, rolling the clock back or putting a new dashboard in them on the way over.
Gotcha.
And then selling them for $50,000 on the lot, cleaned up, right? Big margin, huge margin. That's the story, right? So that was the deal. If you were at an auction and you got to sneak a 6-cylinder X5, you could sell it to an exporter and automatically make $4 grand. That was like the rule. Everybody had this kind of scam going on. So this white guy, gets keen on it, goes to Russia, ships cars over, ships like 20 cars over. First day in business, door knocks on, 2 Russian mobsters are like this, take all your fucking cars and get the fuck out of here, or I'll come back here and I'll chainsaw your fucking head off. The guy shipped all of his cars back over. He said it cost him $300,000 to do that.
Jesus Christ.
That's how the story was told to me.
Damn.
Because I literally was over there. I looked at a place. I scouted it. I leased it. I came back. I went. I got the cars. I got the cars there. I unloaded them for the port. I brought it there. First day, they said, if you don't get the fuck out of here, I'm going to... It was like unbelievable.
Yeah, because when you mentioned Russia, I was like, like when I was in LA, I used Turo, and I rented a car, and they were all Russian guys. Like it was like 2 Russian dudes. They dropped off. They didn't barely spoke English, but they had a ton of selection of cars on Turo.
Oh yeah, Russian and Persian dudes love that game.
Yeah,
I used to get it at Mercedes all the time.